it felt so luxurious,
which is really helpful for road tripping.
Then you have the third row behind that. If you are the kind of person like me that wants to sleep in a Gravity, hey guys, I'm back in the Model Y, driving back to the city. I was up in White Plains. I back-to-back drove the Lucid Gravity and the R1S Rivian, the tri-motor. And it was really a good experience driving them back-to-back, sort of feeling out the differences. So I couldn't film myself in the Gravity, unfortunately. So I'll just talk about it for a second while I'm driving home here. The Gravity test drives right now are very limited, and I had this one booked for White Plains, New York for a while because I believe the few Gravities they have available are moving around the country. So it was great to get a test drive pretty early on compared to most people. And I gotta say, it was a great feeling. The steering wheel was obviously a much different shape than I'm used to, and it was not strange at all. You instantly felt at home with it. The driver's seat was very comfortable. You could run massage on it. It felt so luxurious compared to what I'm used to in this Model Y. I was hooked pretty quick. In sport mode, the acceleration is amazing. It also, the screen in the front of you is just so nice. There's not much bad things to say about the Gravity.
This is a great feature because you can set your minimum range on arrival at your destination, but also your minimum range at arrival at charger, which is really helpful for road tripping.
Right now, the only bad thing I could really say was that when you put on your blinker and you got the side view cameras, they were running a little bit at like a bad frame rate, so it looked a little choppy. And those cars that they're test driving are actually pre-production cars, I was told. So I think that's probably why. I can't imagine that the ones that are getting delivered would be like that. I only had 5 minutes on the highway. I put on Dream Drive 2, sorry, and it took the lane really nicely. It felt good. I didn't have time to try lane changes, and there was no self-driving feature, but at least for keeping you in the lane, it felt like it was doing a good job. Turning radius was also really good with the rear steer. It made the whole car feel smaller than it is. And it's a kind of a funny illusion because they have a lower ceiling than a Model X, but essentially their outside boundaries are about the same as a Model X, but it looks like it's a lot longer just because of the roof shape. But interior space, it's a lot roomier than a Model X. So it's really a funny car, the way that it's sized and the perception that you get in it. I just feel like size-wise, it feels small, but it's big. And having that much horsepower, it really picks up fast for its weight and size. The space inside a Gravity is amazing. The second row seat has so much room, and they're so comfortable. And having the drop-down trays on the backs of the front seats opens up so much possibility. You could turn that thing into a mobile workstation. Let's say you pull up next to a library and use their Wi-Fi. You can sit in the back seat, open that tray table, put a laptop on it. You have a household outlet to charge the laptop right at your foot, and you can just work there comfortably. Then you have the third row behind that, which is also incredibly roomy. You compare that to the back of a Rivian, the third row, and it's like night and day how much room you have in the back of a Gravity. It's almost wild that they've figured that out. And then though all that just drops flat and you have a perfectly flat space. If you want to sleep back there,
In 1 mile, take exit 4 on the right onto Grand Street toward Williamsburg Bridge.
the amount of space you have sleep, if you are the kind of person like me that wants to sleep in a Gravity, it's huge. The ceiling is so high away from the load floor in comparison to a R1S. Not that a R1S would be bad to sleep in, but the Gravity is wild. It has so much room, and the floor of it when you drop everything is very flat. The Rivian kind of has some bumps and stuff. Either would be fine, but I'm really impressed with the interior space on the Gravity. And it could, I mean, you hear about, there's, other YouTube channels, people living in Model Ys. They need to get themselves a Gravity and live in a Gravity because it's a freaking house. Yeah, interior, excellent. The infotainment, very responsive. Everything across the board is incredibly well done.